Welcome to another edition of Inspired Discussions, where we challenge the way you think, shattering status quo is while increasing your self worth. They called me Sibley, and I'm with my co-host.
Remy, realizing energy made me.
Welcome back, everybody.
Aloha.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in for another week. So
Yeah,
going
rocking with us this long.
right through everything and through everything, and we love y'all, and we always appreciate y'all for that. And
Facts.
it don't never go underlooked, you know. Even the ones that we don't know that's out there watching. We love
Yeah,
you and
true,
appreciate you too. Um,
true.
so everybody at the end, uh, I didn't even talk to you about this beforehand because
Oh snap!
I forgot.
Oh snap!
So at the end of January, I got on the scale and I noticed I weighed about 230. And I was like, the devil is a lie. Like this not my reality right here. so I made up my mind. I'm like, shoot, I'm about to, for one, like it's kind of, I want to say it's kind of, I don't want to blame it on quarantine, but it's just me not being as active as I
Yeah, yeah.
normally I should be, and like not, watching, what I
Right.
eat or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, so I'm about to discipline again, go
Yeah,
discipline. So
you're not the only
February,
one.
right? Exactly. So February, I cut red meat, like red meat, all of that. Like
Mm.
I've been eating,
All
chicken.
of it, all red meat.
Yeah, chicken. I only been on chicken and shrimp. I had some shrimp,
Mm.
a couple times this month, fried shrimp. So I got on the scale this morning.
Oh Lord.
No, but look, though, I'm back to 225.
Okay,
I
okay,
cut that
okay,
whole five.
okay, okay.
I'm like that's it. So yeah, I came into February. I'm like, I don't know how this gonna go.
Right, 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 right.
So I'm like, shoot, I cut it. So I'm about to go. I'm about to finish
It's
it on.
something. It's something.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm back to where I was. So I'm like, shoot.
Oh,
I
wait a minute. That's what you saying. That you back where you was originally.
Yeah, I'm back to where I was.
Oh,
I was at 230. Yeah, I was at
my
230. Like
man,
I
my
cut the
man.
whole five in a month. I cut the whole five down in a month. That's why I was saying, like, I've been on that bike every month, but basically
Oh,
about every
okay,
morning, you know what
okay,
I'm
okay.
saying?
I got you now. I got
So, been drinking at least a gallon of water a day, at least. Well, no, a half a gallon. I ain't, cause man, it's kind of hard to drink a whole gallon, man,
you. What
of water. But I at least
you
been drinking a
don't
half a gallon.
say?
It is though. It is though. But I've been at least drinking a half a gallon of water. You know what I'm saying? And then like I take a few supplements too that kind of curb the appetite a little bit,
Yeah.
and then I still do. I make sure throughout the day, I get my protein in certain spots. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, like I'm about to get down to, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't really have what I'm gonna get down
Ooh,
to.
what's the lowest you been though?
Uh, the lowest I've been is 150. That's in high school. I don't want to be that small again.
Okay. Okay.
But uh, but if I say, I'd probably be like 210, so maybe like another
Oh,
15.
okay. I
But
was
it
guessing 215, maybe. Okay.
yeah, but it just depends on how it looked though. Like, how it looked. Like if it's a solid 215, like I ain't gonna complain.
Yeah, I can't even
Uh,
imagine. I can't
no,
imagine you any other way than. the normal that I've always
And,
seen.
and that's what it was too, y'all. Like, and I even did this shit. I'm gonna do it after the podcast today and give y'all an update on that. Because I tried on some jeans and they was 34s, and I could fit them, but they was too snug. And I'm like, I am not going back to a damn 36. Like that was another reason why I did it too. So I'm gonna try on the jeans again too. They was feeling too much like skinny jeans. I'm like, oh heck, nah,
Oh,
man.
Lord.
Like I'm like,
Man,
nah.
That's a whole nother discussion. Skinny jeans. Whatever.
So yeah, I'm about to just keep my momentum and finish this on out. Which that transition us into the topic today, because I was watching. No, not watching. I was reading. I was going through my Facebook memories, and I noticed that around this same time of the year, for the past like 4 or 5 years, I was on like this same type of refocus stuff. Like I do this. I had this same type of momentum,
Okay.
or whatnot. And then what that made me do, like I started to reflect, and I was like, okay, let me just think about my year in the whole. So I'm like, okay, what about that middle? And I'm like, that's where I kind of really started losing my momentum, like the middle, and then I pick it back up that last quarter, because I know I'm like, shoot, let me get a head start for the next year.
Right.
And then
this is in regards to what you have planned in the beginning of the year and going throughout the whole year.
Right,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay.
So I kind of picked back up on it. So I'm like, okay. And y'all heard me mention before on the podcast about this, my year putting the pieces together. I didn't know quite what that looked like at that time. I just knew that's what it was. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this a crease of a self-awareness to the understanding, and like, okay, this is what you got to do. So like I know I always have this momentum now on this front half.
Okay.
And I know where I always, lose it at. So now I know where I gotta turn it up at too. You okay over there?
Yeah.
For everybody that listening, he turned around and I watch I watch a little bit too much TV at times, and he turned around like they do on TV and on movies when somebody behind you. So,
hey man, all I can say is that sound wasn't normal, but I'm gonna let it be. What is it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so like now I know where I gotta turn it up at. So I was like, and this was just this morning when I was, prepping for the recording this morning. I was thinking about what I was gonna talk about. I was like, I know how to turn it up and go into overdrive because I did it before.
Right.
But the thing is, I hit a wall because I didn't turn around, because I was in that place escaping from other things that I didn't want to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't even want to turn it down, or I didn't even know where the knob was to turn it down, because I was just trying to go, to avoid everything else. But now I'm like, oh, I know what it looked like when I wake up every day and I work towards something and stuff started to happen. Like I know that. So when that quarter hit, that I need to turn it up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I know when October get here, I know just off of instincts alone, I know like this the back end of the year. I need to prepare for 2022. I know I'm gonna turn it up then, because I've been doing it. That's what being consistent.
Right.
So
it's the
now,
middle ground. That's the problem.
right, exactly. It's been the middle ground that's been the problem. So now it's time to turn it up, and that's how you finish.
Well, with that understanding of how you begin and how you finish overall, and knowing where you stop or slow down at, I like the way that this is going, because normally most people would respond and be like, "Oh, I'm tired of going through the same thing every year at the end of the day."
Absolutely.
but never really have the mindset to be like, all right, well, I'm stronger now to go and face this over
Facts.
and over. So it's like, though it is the same fight and it may feel tiring, you still not the same person at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's like you're going into the fight already ace high every single time because this isn't your first rodeo. It's just
Yeah.
how you going to accomplish it, how you going to get through it.
Exactly. You know, it's like that quote: "Insanity is doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result." You know what I'm saying? Like,
There you go. Yeah.
you know, I got bits and pieces, and that's what I was telling you before we started. Like, them dots starting to connect now. Like, cause I always had planted the seeds.
Mm,
It's just the I haven't sustained enough momentum over time for those seeds to, you know, be
right. Right.
to put enough energy into those seeds into that plant, and
Yeah.
with my extracurriculars, I'm starting to understand the time and energy
Right.
you have to
Right.
put in those
Right.
type of things for them to grow. So
Right.
you got to focus that energy there. So I'm like, okay, so when this time hit, I know, like, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to overdrive, like straight
Right.
overdrive for the next 4 or 5, and
This
the
reminds me.
doors gonna start to open.
I mean, I remember going through. Well, there I still go through it, but I remember the first time I had the same understanding and going through the same thing over and over. And I was at that point to where it's like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't care what it is, I'm tired of dealing with the same thing over and over. And then once I actually got tired for real, you get to the point to where it's like you tired of being tired. That type of statement, that
Yeah,
energy.
yeah,
I was at that point and got over it. And then I realized, oh snap, this was a milestone moment. That's why it was such a heavy founding, like, permanent situation that I felt like I was going through every year. It was one of those,
right,
I need to actually go through it. Like, it's not going
right.
nowhere, period, until I deal with it. And then once I actually got through it, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. Now I see why that was there. And it just opened up so many different things in regards to, of course, other hurdles and whatnot, but also other blessings on the other side
Yeah,
as well. It's still good
yeah,
and bad,
yeah,
but those are
absolutely.
the things that you need to go through. That's why they stay there.
Facts. And it's amazing that you said what you said, where when you was like you tired of going through, like,
Mm-hmm.
where you reach those certain moments, because one of those Facebook memories
Oh, word.
that from February 23rd from 2016, I posted, change happens when the pain is staying the same. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Oh, nigga, yeah, yeah. That's
You know what
exactly
I
what that
mean?
was. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like you reach those moments, and and it's just and that's one of the my posts from there, where I was like, man, like, that's where I'm at now. Because remember, I was telling you before, I was like, I had stopped saying, I'm like, I stopped telling Cherish, I'm like, look, I'm done telling you this the last year that we blase this. I'm just gonna go do it and prove it and
Facts,
make
bro.
it happen. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Because
Facts.
I'm tired of having to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Every year, and like not getting it done. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to, like, so I'm gonna go prove it to you, and then that's gonna be that. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And
Yep. Yep.
we're gonna grow from there. So and and that roots from that quote right there, because it's just that pain. It's like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good on this. Like, now, especially now, because I'm just so free and within myself, man. It's like, now I know the moves I make and the decisions I make. Is for my, I guess you can say, my greater good, or for the betterment of just everything I believe in. Just
Right.
period.
You know what that reminds me of? Oh, you can't even see it all the way. No, I can't do that. I can't allow that. Hold up. Nope, not even allowing that, bro.
What
Heck
the
nah.
what you got back there?
Yeah.
What it say? Prove yourself first, and everything else will fall in line. You really love what you really. What's that on the? Yeah, I can't even. You really love yourself for getting the job done or something like that of that nature.
It's the first time for everything. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm like, no, that's not fair.
Love yourself first, and everything else falls in lines. You really have to love yourself
before everything. Ah, dang, bro, that sucks. That's something you said that because I put that up way before you said that, and you said
and you
that.
know what's up.
I'm like, wow,
like
bro.
I never even, I wasn't even paying attention to what was back there today. For real, because you didn't change it so many times. Like I just stopped paying attention to it. So that's So that just fall in line.
Yeah,
That just
love yourself. Love yourself first, and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world.
Yeah, you do. You do because now when you go in these certain situations, you know what I'm saying. You can trust yourself more when you love yourself. You know. You know what I mean? Because like now I know like this game plan. Like I know how I gotta finish now. You know what I mean? I know how I gotta finish. Just sustain this momentum. You're gonna have to turn it up. You're gonna have to turn it up in those places where, but you know when you gotta scale it back too, though.
You're not gonna overexert yourself. It's gonna feel like you know perfectly exactly what to do and the amount that you're supposed to engage in.
Exactly. And it's so much easier when you doing that from a place of where you just feel whole within. You know. It's just so much easier.
Yes, I said this. I mean, I've said this on the I think I've said this on the last 2 episodes, period. But I said it again to my sister yesterday as well, because I mean it's just true at the end of the day. And now that we're speaking on it, I'm like, I'm just bringing it up again as another example. How we was talking about having that freedom within yourself. And I told my sister yesterday, I said, all right, now imagine you in your heart and your soul. And I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna go that deep. I'm just make it simple. Imagine that whole circle, a circle, and it represents you at 100%. Fill that circle with whatever color you want it to be. And in her example, I said, all right, you're green. So now you being green and filling that circle at 100%, this is you effectively, perfectly executing everything you want to execute. Whatever hurdles and problems come your way, you dealing with it perfectly. You're not being bothered by it. And by the end of your day, your week, your month, you like, oh my God, this was a great month or whatever. But what you're also holding on to or attaching yourself to, all of it is outside of your circle. So now, if it's a friend of yours or a family member or something, you're holding on to energy that belongs to them. Their color, let's say hers, like I said, hers is green. But now that you having that outside attachment, all right, now you done got their color black. Now it's in your green. There's 10%. Now your best friends, you got a problem, or you're holding on to energy in regards to that situation. Let's say that's 20%. And now you got their brown and your green. At the end of the day, you 70% now. You can't be really effective in the things that you really want to do. You can't execute them at 100% now because you're holding on to those other attachments outside of yourself. Why are you holding on to their colors? You green, bro. That don't make any sense. She's like, you know what? I ain't think about it like that. Blah blah blah.
Right.
I'm like, let that go, bro.
Right.
You can't hold on to other people's stuff. That's theirs.
Absolutely. In a physical or a mental form. You got to let it go. And
Yeah.
and that's it's so amazing that you said that, because in past episodes, early on, probably our first like 10 or
Oh, dang.
so,
You
maybe.
going back.
Yeah, maybe our first 10, like a lot of the content came from, just like um it, from a place of where I was just really holding on to energy, and that really wasn't mine to hold on anyway, you know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
so like it's, oh man,
Man,
that
yeah.
just that growth over that time is
I
crazy.
was just about to say it. That self-reflection feel good, don't it?
It do though. It do, because I just I ain't gonna say I just realized that, but it's just on point and just on part of what we talking about right now. And
Yeah.
once I let all that go, and I'm like, oh, if you putting that out there, you gonna have to deal with putting that
Yeah.
out there. So
Let it be what it's gonna
yeah,
be.
I'm gonna stay right within, because I know the my utopia that I create, you know what I'm saying? Once I come back to it, like, I love it here,
Right.
so so
And that's not to say that even with that's not to say, pardon me, that's not to say that you don't care about the situation. It's just don't hold on to it enough to where you can't effectively be you the way you need to be within your own purpose, your own understanding of self. At the end of the day, you can, those same situations, you can deal with them and not have those outside attachment of self. Let the person know, or whatever the situation, scenario, the moment is, let them know how you feel about it, and be like, I'm aware of it. That's the thing. Letting them know that you're aware of this and this is how you feel. Then it's like, you can't control the situation. You can't control other people. You can't control other situations that are outside of yourself in that, on that grand of a scale. So just letting them know that you're aware of it, it's like, all right, now what you do with that is up to you. Leave that up to them. Don't try to force an action. Don't try to force a conclusion. That's outside of you. The conclusion you need to focus on is the conclusion you have within self at the end of
right.
the day. And we talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Like, you coming from a place, those attentions, like, you wouldn't even have those feelings if you wasn't even holding on to that energy. You
Man,
know what
bro,
I mean?
what?
And it all boils down to insecurities you have within yourself. That's why,
Mm.
and that's why I'm so understanding of it now, because I'm like, shoot, another person insecurities within their self is none of my business. You know what I'm saying? So so it's like they got to deal with that. They deal with that how they deal with that. As long as it don't cross certain lines of disrespect on certain levels, like,
Right.
I'm good. Like, I'm good. I can brush it off.
Yeah.
It's just certain stuff like you just don't do.
Yeah.
It's just certain unwritten codes and laws, and no matter your color,
Man,
you know what
bro.
I'm saying? Like,
Oh my, yeah, it is.
you know what I'm saying? That it's
I
just
wish
certain,
everybody read that
yeah,
unwritten book, bro.
yeah, right, exactly. Or had, see, that's the thing though. Like, with stuff like that, they unwritten. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
unwritten things you have to learn from OGs and certain
Yeah.
mentors that you
Yeah.
had growing up. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So you can pass them along. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's certain codes. Like, you need to watch a mafia movie or something. Like,
Man, that is
no,
so real,
that's
bro.
real talk though. That's real
Yeah.
talk though, because like those certain type of codes, like, because like they organize, they have organized crime, but they still have certain rules.
Yes. There are certain principles
Yeah,
that you
certain
go
rules.
by.
Yeah, certain principles that you go by.
Morals,
Yeah,
ethics.
it's
Like,
certain principles like
man, bro.
no women and children. That's code no matter what.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like, you
Facts.
don't like
You don't
whether
gotta be in the game to know that. Like, that's just
whether it's kill, disrespect in any type of form. Like, you do not do that. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like, you don't bring somebody woman into your beef. You don't bring nobody kids into your beef. You like those, like, whether you woman or a man, or whether you black, white, like, you just don't do that. Like those just certain codes. You know what I'm saying? So.
I don't want to steer. I don't want to.
We kind of digress. I was just about to say, like, I'm like, damn, we went from
now,
finish,
like, I'm thinking about so many other things.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, people don't even think about this stuff. But I'm like, I can't go there yet. Whatever.
Yeah, we did kind of maybe, yeah. maybe we got the topic for next week. We can
bro.
Engage
yes, please. Yes, please. I gotta get this one off, bro. Hey,
so
please. I don't even know what to say after that one, boy. Oh my god, bro.
Oh man.
I don't even know where was we at with that. Where was we at with that? I gotta remember now, because now I'm so stuck on that. It's like, bro, this is stupid, but it's real.
Man, that's funny.
Refocusing. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You're refocusing for those moments where you know your hurdles or your slow moments are within the year. That's how you were describing it for yourself at the end of the day. On my end, I'm gonna say I never really purposely, I'll say it like this. I never really took the time out to reflect on, like, let's say my previous year or whatever it may be. And the main reason, I'm gonna keep the main reason short. The main reason, man, with all the times I go and get sick and be in the hospital, I'm like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and reflect on the whole year of that. At the end of the day, I'm like, I'm happy where I am now. I got through that, blah blah blah. But on the other end of that, I'm so used to being able to make the best of whatever it is in the moment. Though I may not have a complete understanding of my end goal for that month or the middle of the year or towards the end of the year, I just know as long as I'm still moving in the direction that serves me and my purpose, period, that I believe I have, and in this case now in my lifetime, is planting those seeds. As long as I feel like I'm planting seeds, I'm like, good, bet. My job is being done at the end of the day. If I planted one seed in January, I still did my job. All right, cool. So that's where I'm at with that type of.
Yeah. You know, see, we got the same focus, but mine, you know, it's like it's planting those seeds all year round. But like this certain area, I gotta go and overdrive on the watering.
Okay.
You know what I mean? On the watering, you know, so I can sustain the momentum, and then, you know, tell it back and, you know, really get ready to, do the cycle over again, you know. So
that make you know, I'm just curious about this in regards to, I don't even know how to ask this. Okay, I'm gonna use the example first, and maybe I can ask the question to make it easier. With me planting seeds, I know the seeds that I'm planting are, let's say, in individuals, just through my own actions or how I move or what the outside may think of me at the end of the day. I know there's still being a seed planted within the individuals, and I know there are certain moments that are going to happen or that I'm going to create and make happen. And those said scenarios as a whole, I'm still planting a giant seed for anybody else that's in that, you know, moment or scenario to feed off of. With that understanding, are there moments where you are aware of the fact of where you're planting your seeds and whether or not you're actually choosing to go back and water those? Because with what I just said, I've never thought about going back and just like, all right, I'm watering it. It's like, all right, I plant this seed in Dre. Now I know just because how Dre move, it's automatically gonna get watered just because of where it was planted, how it was planted. His move naturally gonna water it.
Yeah, I think you do that directly and indirectly. And when I say indirectly, I mean with you, remember what I told you yesterday, where I was like, I appreciate you for these uh
Mm.
pre-prep production meetings because I need this.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like that's a form of you watering that seed that you planted me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like, because like you don't necessarily like have to go back. Like you can do things that you're not even necessarily aware that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you still watering something within somebody. And since it just came to me, so I'm about to share it. You remember when we did the always grateful one, and then I thanked my OG at the bowling alley or whatnot.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like right, like that episode had dropped, and that's when they had shut everything down again. So
Oh,
I hadn't seen him until the beginning of February. So until
oh,
when we went back. So when I seen him in February, he was like, you know what, man, I appreciate you for those
oh,
words, man.
word.
Yeah, he did. He was like, I appreciate you for those words. And he was like, I can't do much, but if it's anything that I can do, you let me know.
Mm,
And I told him, I was like, look, what you doing
right,
already is
right,
enough. Like,
right,
so don't ever think that you have to do more than what you doing. Like I value what you doing now because
right,
it's priceless to me. So
right.
you
That
can't quit.
action alone showed
Yeah,
that it already
yeah.
sprouted a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like that, you know what I'm saying? And just people letting me know, like, because I need, like, it's my form of reinsurance. There we go with the
Right, right,
reinsurance
right,
again.
right, right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like, because I went from at the beginning of this month thinking I didn't need it to being self-aware in the areas that I get it and wasn't even
Mm.
noticing it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
said the beginning of this month?
Yeah, just at the beginning of this month,
Dang.
thinking like I don't even need it. See, just in the understanding of that, like that's a form of reinsurance. I'm like that,
Right, right.
that's just the understanding right now. Like, oh, I don't really need it. I just need to know this and this. But even saying I need to know this, that's
Mm.
reinsurance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Now,
yeah,
is
man.
there a drastic difference within you? Like, say you just said that was in the beginning of this month. Is there a drastic difference in you, the time or the speed that you took to realize that a lot better compared to before, like say in the past?
Oh, heck yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Cause I'd be like, man, that's how I know, like I'm in the right place mentally within myself. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know
Right,
I'm in the
right, right,
right
right.
place. Cause I didn't always been like that, but it didn't always took me a while to, you know,
To
to
catch that
yeah, yeah,
understanding, the bigger
yeah,
picture
to
of it
really
all.
catch the understanding and not just that, to learn how to implement it for me to get better.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Dang, no, that's real.
And how important it is for just my overall momentum. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Because when I have to go in overdrive, I'm gonna have to lock into all those places that give me reinsurance. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
I'm gonna have to lock into those places. So like everything that's not like I'm really tapped into everything that's happening to me because I know it's preparing me for what I'm about to endure in this season
Right,
where I know I'm
right,
gonna have to turn it up.
right, right.
So
I love how we speak about this, and it makes it so much easier for me to go back and use other stuff that we've already said as an example, because now this this is the level where we had spoke about. I don't even know what episode, to be perfectly honest with you, but the episode we was talking, and I think I had said, or you had said, we was talking about respecting your own walkthrough at the end of the day. Like you've already made these set steps at the end of the day. If you was to stop, I think this was the New Year video, I believe it was. If you was to stop and or just I think slow down or something like that, the steps and the progress that you've already made when you look back, like those are the steps that you're gonna quit on. You already made this many steps in regards to self. It's like, really, you gonna stop now? And that's what you saying now. Like you appreciative of that, and you're gonna reflect on those moments, those steps, the process that you already made when you hit that slow moment or that moment where you're gonna stop and lose that momentum. At least that's how I think you're saying it. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
Could
yeah,
be wrong.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
I
a good,
believe. Am I right or
yeah,
wrong?
yeah. That's a good illustration of it because
You already made your walkthrough. The progress up here. I mean, that's what it
yeah.
was. The video game one. When John, I'm sorry,
Oh,
that's a different thing.
water levels.
Yeah, that's what it was. The process we already made up here, and you know how when we look at like walkthroughs and whatnot to get
Yeah.
through
You know
something, you
what?
already made your
Yeah,
own.
that's exactly what that was. So see
Yeah.
that I love that even more. See, that was I didn't even have the self-awareness back then to know I
Mm.
had the solution to my problem. You know, so I love that
You
you
had
just did.
already made your walkthrough right there.
Yeah, like I had already had the solution. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I've been through this level before. You
Facts.
know, I've been through this
Facts.
level before,
Facts.
so it's like now I got
Woo.
the self-awareness to know how to beat this water level.
Right.
That's my water level.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's my water level. Period. You know
We're
what
gonna
I'm
have to go
saying?
back and watch that episode again because low key that whole episode is a walkthrough because we breaking down the walkthrough within the walkthrough. Like,
Right,
oh my
exactly,
god.
exactly. So yeah, that's my water level.
That's crazy how that came around like that. That is right.
Yeah, it is.
Those are the moments
That's amazing.
and that's exactly what we how did I not catch this when we was talking about this yesterday or even earlier? Like that's
Because
exactly what this is. That water level that you're talking about, losing your
because
momentum.
because we didn't talk about this.
Wow.
We just talked about what we wanted to talk about and
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah,
we gonna
yeah, yeah.
come with something authentic. And look, like our chemistry once again proved itself to be on point.
Right. Yeah, no, well, that's exactly what that is. Like
Yeah.
I can't stop. I can't stop planting my seed. Okay, what? I
Oh
can't
man.
stop. Man, F it. You think about it, you think about it. That's on you. I can't stop doing my job and living through my purpose and planting these seeds in life the way that I feel I'm supposed to. Because at the end of the day, that means I'm also going to disrespect every other action and moment and breakthrough that I had to get there up to this point. Like for me to stop now, it's like, bro, you did all of that for nothing. And one thing I know for sure that I hate, whether it's for myself or somebody else outside of me, is when it comes down to it feeling like my time was wasted. Oh my god, that hurts so much more than anything else to me in the world. So I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I gotta continue doing what I'm doing. So even if it feels like I'm losing that momentum, all those moments they'll come through where I'm forced to really sit down and think about it. So it's like I can't help it but respect all of those moments because everything else would be like, man, you wasted your own time at the end of the day. Like I can't do that, bro. I really can't. I really can't. What do you think would be some things that I don't know how to ask this one. What do you think some things are that you know is like permanently, not permanently. I don't even know how to ask it. Like, say when I'm getting sick, when I'm sick or whatnot, I'm out the game. It's not it that wasn't on me to where it's like, all right, I really got to sit down now and reflect on what's going on with my life and what I'm doing. That's that how I've said it before in episodes. Those are the moments where I feel like God is just be like, listen here, sit your butt down and chill for right now because you're doing too much. I know you working through your purpose, but you gotta sit down right now. So I got no choice but to sit there in the bed.
Right.
What are those moments do you feel or do you have moments where it feel like you are being sat down at the end of the day no matter what have you had those moments as well? Like I'm being sat down, bro, and I can't do nothing. Or have they all been like self-inflicting?
A little bit of mixture of both.
Oh,
Like self-deflicting, then you know the moment with my dad was a sit down moment. I just didn't know that's what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that was really just a sit
Oh,
down, get within
yeah,
yourself
I can
moment.
see that.
Um, but yeah, most of them they just be like self inflicted, humbling moments where I'd be like, damn, like that's on me on that one. Like
Mm,
I fumbled that when I had it on the 5 yard line, got the handoff and fumbled on that
mm.
one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. For the
So
you don't gotta answer this. You don't gotta answer this. And I know this type of question probably will be an off-camera question, to be perfectly honest. But for those permanent moments, like the loss and whatnot, and I'm asking this also an example to myself. My permanent moments is of course on my health. I can always get sick or whatnot. In those permanent moments, knowing that that's going to be a hurdle that you will forever continue to face at the end of the day because they're irreversible or whatever it may be. Are there or have there been moments as well to where it's like, all right, I know this is coming and I'm looking forward to engaging in it, or is it always this is coming and I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it?
um I wouldn't say looking forward to. I say more so like I'm prepared to deal with, and if I gotta deal with it, I'ma deal with it accordingly. But you know how I am, like I think you get what you prepare for, so I try not to, prepare for things that I don't necessarily want to deal with. But you got
Right,
those things that's uncontrollable too. So that's why I said you kind of gotta be like, I'm prepared to deal with this, but I'm really not, focusing on dealing with it, per se,
right, right.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
that yeah, I asked that in regards to myself as well. Like it's still those moments where it's like I have those, and it's like, all right, I have had those where it's like, all right, I know this is it's coming. Like, say if it's in a week or something, like I know when my body shifts within a day or a week, and it's like, all right, I know, I know something's about to happen here soon. I'm like, all right, I know I can get through it, whatever it may be, and I know what I got on my plate right now, like out in the outside world. And I'm saying that in regards to like when I'm in the hospital, my whole world shut down. I don't have really control over any other plans or ideas in that moment. So when I'm having those moments where it's like, all right, something's about to happen. All right, I'm about to shut down. Let me get this and this in order. And then when I'm forced to sit down, I gotta sit back and watch how things play out because now it's out of my control at the end of the day. Those are still moments where it's like I have some of those sometimes, very few, but I still have them where it's like, all right, I'm looking forward to it. I know what's gonna happen, but it's needed at this point. So I may look forward to it, but when it happens repeatedly, that's when it's like, oh, I'm fighting to sit down. Then I'm like, bro, I'm not sitting down this time. I don't care what you say or what happens. I'm not sitting down this time. So that refocus still it comes in different waves for me. That's the point that I was really
Mhm.
trying to point out is the refocus comes in different ways, directly and indirectly, and the awareness of being able to engage in one or the other and still having what the understanding of all right, this one is that I'm going to engage with this a particular way just because it's directly. I'm going to engage with this one a particular way because it's indirectly, but I'm aware of it at the end of the day. You don't I'll never know the actual conclusion behind any of it. I don't know the plans or ideas when I sit down if they're going to execute the way that I planned them to, or even the ones, of course, the ones indirectly, you're not really going to know. But if you're aware of it when it's coming, it's like, all right, maybe I can do something different about that next time it happens because it's one of those permanent hurdles in my life that I'm still going to continue to face over and over and over. So now I'm no longer looking at it as, all right, I got to deal with this again. I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of being tired of
Right.
dealing with this. It's
Right.
more so, okay, I'm looking forward to dealing with this again now because it's gonna be there. Let's see how I engage with it. Let's see how it takes a toll on me in the middle of the process. Let's see how I come out of it while I'm in the midst of something else. That's where
Yeah,
I was
and
going with that.
and it really bring it full circle because I can kind of relate to that now, because I know I'm gonna have this momentum for these next 2 months. I know it because I always have,
Mm,
that always remain consistent. But I'm looking forward
mm,
to this rev up now to where I'm like, okay, like let's see. Like I know what's required, at the end of the day. And that's before we get into the cards. That's what I just want to let everybody know. That was the whole, just purpose of me sharing that with y'all. Figure out where y'all have always been consistent at and where y'all got to fill them gaps in at
yeah,
to put it together so you can finish. Like fine, yours might not be the middle like mine. Yours might be the beginning. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or the end, or it's just it may not be the same. Just but find where you need to fill those gaps at, so you can complete
yeah.
put the whole thing together, start to
Yeah.
finish,
Have
start to
the proper
yeah
engagement you need to
yeah
have to get
yeah
through it all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
All right, now what we got on the cards this week?
Dang, I did not realize. Did I take up all of the time?
Nah, you good.
I didn't
No,
realize I was talking like that.
no, I was letting you talk because I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, this is a good way to close it. And then I had knew what I was about to come with that, and then we gonna transition into the cards. I told you we was
Oh,
good, man. We got
okay,
the
all right,
chemistry. You good, man?
all
I'm
right.
like, good. He getting in. We getting in some time.
Let's see. Mm, I mean, I'm gonna just read it. Uh, with whom or what ways do you feel you can really be yourself at the end of the day?
With whom?
With
Or
whom or what ways can you really be yourself at the end of the day?
at this point, anybody that I have in my circle. And
Right.
with anything that I do,
Hmm.
that's a on point. That's
What
on point
ways?
to everything I've been talking about the last 2 weeks. Like
Well,
because
yeah.
even when I was telling you just before we started recording about me, reestablishing certain relationships or whatnot,
Mm,
and
yeah.
making sure I stay connected to in certain relationships. So yeah,
Hmm.
just
Okay.
so like yeah, that's anybody I'm connected with. I feel like I can be myself, because if I can't, I don't want you around me.
Right. Okay.
So
I'm gonna take the opposite. I'm gonna take the other part of that then. You got the whom. I'm gonna say, what ways can I really be myself at the end of the day? And I'm taking it as, in what ways, like, am I really living? Do I feel I'm really living my purpose or my, free self at the end of the day? I don't want to answer it as a surface question. It's like, oh yeah, man, this is my natural silly self, blah blah blah. No, I'm gonna take it on the levels of what we on, and I'm gonna say, dang, that's so that's a deep answer. When when I feel, when I'm aware of the fact that the people or the scenario or the situation is equal to the energy that I possess, that I'm always delivering at the end of the day. When I feel it's at the same level or higher, that's when I feel like I'm living through myself at the end of the day. Because that way I know I'm engaging in something that I'm always going to get back, that's going to keep my cup full at the end of the day, or giving me enough to where I can still function within myself and still continue to engage in the purpose of me planting my seeds here and there to, make a greater moment or life purpose, however you want to look at that. Yeah, that's my answer to that.
Yeah, so yeah, I rocks with it. I rocks with it. I rocks with it. We don't have nothing else for y'all. You know, that's how we end our shows, man.
Sound
We
good to
really
me.
came up with a nice structure. It just and flow to the
Yeah, like that's what
episode.
I'm sitting here thinking. Like
And you
that
know,
went by
so
smooth. I didn't.
yeah, it do. It do. You know, so yeah, we rolling, we rolling, we rolling. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We see y'all next week. Let's create.
Let's create.